Slovakia is a country with quite high level of belief into different kinds of conspiracy theories. It's according to opinion polls conducted by different research agencies, including our Institute for Public Affairs or Globsec Policy Institute. Belief of Slovaks to conspiracies as such is quite high, that the world is ruled by dark forces, and among all the four countries, maybe even among all Central European countries, belief of Slovaks to known conspiracy theory that these are Jews who are ruling the world. More than 50% of Slovak respondents answered these questions that they believe to this conspiracy. So in these circumstances and these conditions, regardless of what is happening in the country or outside, the pandemic of COVID-19 or war in Ukraine, still level of belief is keeping on high level. So if the question is whether pandemic, COVID-19 or war in Ukraine affected the level of anti-Semitic views, my answer would be no. But there are other, I would say, structural elements of persisting of these views in our country. And it's first the legacy of the past, the penetration of anti-Semitic contents into society, ideological level of the fascist state from the Second World War, but also, and today maybe the most important, the presence of fascist parties in the parliament. We have in the parliament two fascist factions, and both are radical nationalist, xenophobic, and especially anti-Semitic. So if these deputies from these parties, if they are freely expressing their views in the parliament, in which they are working by anti-Semitic card, so it's not surprising that for a certain group of the population, it's de facto detabooization of anti-Semitism. The official doctrine of current Slovak Republic, the current Slovak state, is anti-fascist, democratic, and definitely the policies of the government are not anti-Semitic, quite the opposite. Government is trying to fight against anti-Semitism. But again, these political forces which are playing with this anti-Semitic card, they have certain support. These parties together, they are based on the support of approximately 10-12%, and it's quite possible that they are going to be at least one of them elected in the parliament. So it means that we don't know what will happen in our internal development or external development. The war in Ukraine is a huge tragedy. It's a geopolitical tragedy, first of all. And pandemic, of course, is affecting the state of health of our citizens. But there are more important socio-political factors, ideological factors in Slovakia, and unfortunately we would have to be prepared that we will face with this very unfortunate phenomenon in the next electoral cycle and maybe in the next years and maybe even decades.